Alright, Joey, let's take a look at your paper MLA format first. Make sure that this is the same font as the rest of the paper. The Madman, this is all good. The Madman is a weak title. I think you can be more specific, especially with your topic. Alright, lots of things that we need to clean up in this introduction paragraph here. You start with a pretty bland statement, which is alright, and then at least you know, try to get into it a little bit. Most regular citizens don't understand. So what you mean to say is what most regular citizens don't understand is that in the military, comma, personnel have to do many actions you never thought you were going to do. Now, you're changing point of view because you just said military personnel, or personnel. Then you change it to you, which remember you can't have you. You're going to lose points every time you change point of view. So you can't use you. Like kill another person, no comma, or even be in a fight for the lives of people. That's kind of an awkward phrase, so you want to change that. Now, you spell out the acronym first, and then in parentheses put the PTSD. So here's a run-on sentence. You have two sentences written as one. Here's your comma splice right here that you need to fix. This is a comma splice as well. You got to get rid of that. Alright, here's your other problem. In the 13th century, comma, we are able to see that there were many fearless knights that will fight to the death for a worthy cause or person. Okay, fine. In this time period, a famous person named William Shakespeare wrote Macbeth. Well, here's the problem. He wasn't born until 1564. So he wasn't around in the 13th century. He wasn't around in the 1200s. So that is wrong. This is a sentence fragment. From the beginning of the Macbeth, we have seen the main character Macbeth. So from the beginning of the play, Macbeth causes his own downfall. Just reword it and stop being so wordy here, and messing up the verb tense here. Is seen as a fierce and glorious general with many victorious battles. Don't need a comma here. So he gains several symptoms. Now, this is another problem here. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, comma, but here's the other problem with that. That source did not say that Macbeth does this. That source might give you some of these symptoms, but that's not the way you're wording it. So you would say Macbeth suffers from several of post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms, such as this, and this, and then cite the NIMH. Which is just going to be probably this right here is what you're going to have in parentheses. So that's what you'd have there. From gaining PTSD through his many battles, he's become a more solitary and aggressive person. This is more fact than anything. It doesn't really prove anything. This is a sentence fragment that you can't have in there. If you combine the two sentences, you might be okay. So here's the point, Joey, in just your first paragraph. You probably have about 6 punctuation errors. You have wrong verb tense, wrong pronoun tense or usage. You have at least 3 run-on and or sentence fragments. And that's just in the first paragraph. So as we go throughout the paper, I may not point out everything to you, but just know when you see your score, you got a lot of work to do to maybe clean this up a little bit. And that just comes from having somebody who's a pretty good proofreader reading your paper. And if it's me at some time showing you some of the things, that's fine, but you got to have somebody looking at this thing and helping you clean it up. Alright, this is a rule that you break a couple times, so let me show it to you now and then you can go back and look for it. When you have comma conjunction, you got to have 2 complete independent thoughts on either side. Negative changes of beliefs and feelings is not an independent thought, so you can't put a comma there, so just be careful of that. Alright, so one of the biggest symptoms he has is distorted feelings like guilt or blame. Number 1, you don't have any in-text citation for this. You got to fix that. You got to cite a source where you got this information from. So you talk about military. Today, many military and former military members will acquire PTSD from what they have gone through the military, from events that they've gone through in the military, something like that. This is and see another sentence fragment. This is what you kind of meant to say, maybe just within that sentence. And he's also becoming aggressive towards other people he is familiar with. Very close. Do not use those words. Do not say very ever in a paper. Very or really, get rid of them. And from his reservoir, he's become more distant from her. Okay? So, what is that proving? Is this talking about distorted feelings of guilt or blame? I don't know how this is really bringing that in. Now, I hate to tell you this. He does not feel guilty for killing Banquo at all. Like, zero guilt. Duncan, yes. Banquo, no. He's glad that he's dead. In fact, when the murderers come back and talk about it. So that statement's not true. At the dinner party, he sees that there is someone is sitting in the seat. So that part needs to be fixed. He becomes infuriated and aggressive towards Banquo. So now we see some aggressive attitude. Here's your comma conjunction error again. Where then Lady Macbeth tries to calm her husband and takes him to their chamber. So that's a incomplete sentence. He has feelings for guilt for killing someone he once was a friend, which we already talked about not being true. So you got to fix that. No comma there at all. You need a strong transition to get into the next symptom. And you need a stronger connection with your thesis as we look at the idea of solitary and aggressive. I know you mention it here, but all you say, it's obvious that he's becoming aggressive. That's not really, I don't know, and that he's become infuriated and aggressive towards Banquo. That's not really a thesis. That's just facts on what's happening. All right, we gotta have a stronger topic sentence. We can't just say Macbeth has a symptom, then it's the avoidance symptom. You don't have an outside source. I want to know more what avoidance symptoms is. From the beginning of the play, it shows that the prophecies, no comma, will become true one way or the other. You must first eliminate the person who holds the throne. Now, number one, this is all plot to begin with. So all of this is plot. So that's not necessarily a good thing here. Number two, this is chronologically incorrect because this is about killing Duncan. The last paragraph was about killing Banquo. So I would flip-flop the order of those. And then at the end, from this it is clear that Macbeth has gained a symptom of PTSD, and that is to, so no comma, this isn't a complete independent thought, avoid certain situations, places, and people. In this case, he's avoiding Duncan's room and Duncan himself. Now, here's the problem. Again, all you're doing is saying, oh, look, he's avoiding things. It's just plot. It's not actually you diving into the topic and you understanding the nuances of it and what this disease is doing to him. You have from this traumatic experience, Macbeth with becoming a more avoidance person. Macbeth is becoming a more avoidance person. What does that mean? What does an avoidance person mean? But he is also becoming a more solitary human, something like that. I don't know, you got to finish that thought. All right, so again, topic sentences need to be stronger. And then also another comma conjunction error. You have a run-on sentence here. When Macbeth is hosting his banquet at his castle. You have space issues here. No comma here. No comma here. When Macbeth is mad, comma, he says. Because it goes on to the fourth line, you need to make sure that you separate it into its own paragraph. You move it down and tab it over twice. So make sure you do that. Again, you're just saying that he's angry, which is one of the symptoms of PTSD. And with it, he's also showing off one of his new symptoms. So you're not really saying or adding anything onto it. All right, with this paragraph, we just need to work on a little bit of formatting just to make sure organizationally it's strong, Joey. So you need a strong topic sentence. You have comma errors all over the place. You finally do bring in an outside source, which is good. You got a problem with periods, though, so that period doesn't go because you have the one at the end. Same thing with down here. That one gets out because you have one down there. You need to capitalize Lady for Lady Macbeth. You got another quote that goes on to the fourth line, so you got to indent that. And then you could really cut that down. You don't have to use that whole quote because I think some of that would translate well as an embedded quote. By how he thinks, again, but you're just kind of repeating the thesis, so no comma there. This is a sentence fragment. Macbeth's mind has change of thought towards this one event, and to more that come. So just awkwardly worded. You got the comma conjunction error there. Starting at the point of killing one of his best friends to seeing the ghost of another close friend, Macbeth is becoming a madman. So there's your title brought in, right? But this whole paragraph is in need of some fixing and some structural. You start off with a sentence fragment. Many factors have changed him from him gaining PTSD, and rephrase that. This is the improper use of a colon. This isn't really a strong restatement of all of the symptoms. I think you'd want to restate that a little bit stronger. You can't use we. That's a wrong tense as well. And it's also not a very interesting last sentence. Works cited, you got to move the works cited entry all the way up here so that works cited gets put in the middle and right up there. And then all of these, one, this is alphabetically wrong. Symptoms comes after Shakespeare. Everything else, the first line goes over here. Second and third line go over. So you got to fix that. And these will be in parentheses when you get all said and done, except for him. He'll just be page numbers. But again, it's alphabetically out of order too. Shakespeare goes first. And you got to re-tab all of this. All right, Joey, we got a lot of things to work on with this. Really want to see a rewrite out of you to fix this and make it a little bit stronger.